everyone's thrilled with Peter Jackson's decision to turn the Hobbit project into 3 films instead of 2. Some critics have suggested that Jackson and his team have stretched a simple story beyond reasonable limits to make more money from ticket sales. Guardian film critic James Russell says other franchises have done the same, including Harry Potter and Twilight, but he believes that Jackson is taking the idea to extremes, accusing him of creative stagnation. Hobbit fan and Lord of the Rings blogger and tour guide James McKayla joins us on the programme. From your point of view, 3 is better than 2?
Oh, a 5 would have been great, yeah. Bring it on. Yeah, no, I'm a big believer in Peter Jackson's storytelling abilities, and I think he's going to do a fantastic job on it.
And honestly, one of these guys is a critic for a tabloid newspaper. The other guy's got a shelf full of Oscars. So who's creative, really?
Exactly, yeah. Shelf full of Oscars and Emmys and BAFTAs and goodness only knows what. It's, one of the things he said was Peter Jackson is running out of creative juices. I'm thinking, I don't know where he gets this from. It's just unbelievable. He's done so much other stuff. He's forgotten completely about the Tintin movies, which he's also been doing in the meantime, which are critically acclaimed amongst Tintin fans. And that's a pretty, if anything, that's a harder crowd to please than the Lord of the Rings fans, I think. And he's getting that one right as well. He's introducing things to people. Yeah, and he changes things from books to movies, and I think you have to be honest. It's different media. What works in one media doesn't work in another media, and sometimes you have to make some tough choices. I don't think it takes anything away from the original books.
In some ways, actually, the accusation of saying, well, he's just doing this to sell more movie tickets, perhaps the comments in The Guardian were just made to sell more newspapers.
Yeah, I think you've got your finger on that one, yeah, absolutely. I don't think he's doing this to sell movie tickets. The other criticism was that was something about King Kong was an overblown, sort of bloated thing, and yeah, I think it possibly was. I kind of liked King Kong. I thought it was a great movie, and I don't think Peter Jackson really cared what anybody did, what anybody thought about it, because I really got the feeling that he was making that one for himself.
Yeah, and honestly, when he's that successful and has just won that many Oscars and earned that much money, then we're quite happy to extend that indulgence to him.
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings extended DVDs, the short ones, we call them the short ones on the Lord of the Rings tour, because, I mean, they're only 9 hours long.
Oh, yeah.
You would bother with a 9-hour movie.
Yeah.
The extended one, 11 and a half hours, and according to his biography and a few other places, he pretty much paid for that himself, which is kind of breaking the first rule in Hollywood: never pay for your own movies.
Yes.
But he did that anyway. I don't think you can accuse him for doing it for the money.
Although he probably got his money back on that one.
I think so, yeah. I think we're going to show him he's not looking for buying the next pie. He's pretty covered there, but deservedly so. He's done a lot for Lord of the Rings fans. He's done a lot for movie fans. He's done an incredible amount for the film industry in New Zealand.
Is there a lot of pressure on, though, because he did so well with the Middle-earth last time he was there? I mean, from what we've seen with video blogs online, it does look pretty spectacular, but still taking some risks with the 3D, with the high-definition filming. Yeah. He is pushing the boundaries. When the films come out, not everybody may be happy with them.
Oh, I suspect James Russell's not going to be happy with them.
Whatever happens, yeah.
He is pushing boundaries, and I'm glad he is. He always seems to do that. He was the first in New Zealand to start using computers in movies, at least in any major amount. He was the extended DVDs, the way he did that for Lord of the Rings, that there were so many boundaries pushed all the time. But with his studios doing the 3D for Avatar, it was always going to be a question of what new technologies can I use. Pretty much everything in Lord of the Rings broke new ground. Almost every technology was designed here in New Zealand, and all of it ended up winning awards in Hollywood. And that's not a bad thing. If anything, it becomes even more obvious that he still has lots of creative juices in him.
Just finally on this one, Jack, and we probably need to put a bit of a plot spoiler or spoiler alert on this one as well. What particular scene from The Hobbit are you most looking forward to seeing on the big screen?
Oh, I want to see Smaug the Dragon. It'd be very interesting to see. I mean, it's been covered by so many artists over the last 80 years, including Tolkien himself, of course. But this time he's going to be in 3D. He's going to be hopefully talking, presumably, because there's supposed to be a big conversation between him and Bilbo. Yeah, it's going to be seeing how that's going to be turning into a physical thing, well, you know, an on-screen thing, as opposed to just the words from Tolkien.
Look out, Lake Town, here he comes.
Yeah, hearing some great things about that. So no one's seen him yet. Yeah. He's been designed by the same people who did the designs for Lord of the Rings, and we've seen their designs because they've graced the books for so many years. Mm-hmm. So we'll have some hints, but the final result is going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be, but it sounds like we have to wait for 2 more movies. So.
Yes, yeah. Well, we certainly are looking forward to it, and well, like all good storytellers, Peter Jackson knows how to spin a good yarn. Jack, thank you very much for joining us today, and we'll see you at the movies.
Absolutely, I'll be there.
Certainly looking forward to that, and well, something else which I would recommend, in fact, and well, yes, I'm a bit of a foaming in the mouth fan as well. On the interweb, there's a series of video blogs which show behind-the-scenes footage. Doesn't give away too much, but gives you a basic idea of what some of the scenes that you may know from the book, what they might look like on the big screen, talking to some of the actors and the production people behind the scenes. I think it's about a series of 7 of them now, so if you, for example, you Googled Hobbit video blog, then I'm sure you'd find something, and well, it's all there, and it certainly whets your appetite. The other thing which I must say you need to do, if you haven't read The Hobbit or you haven't read it in 10 years, get a copy out of the library or buy it from a bookshelf in paperback. Read the book again. Psych yourself up for what is going to be an absolutely excellent film, and yeah, no, just a little bit excited about that. Coming up to 5 o'clock. News headlines in just a moment after.